Okay, we are back, GeeHateaseTV. I'd love to welcome Lady Cee, aka Lyric. How you doing? Pleased to meet you.
Why, thank you. It's a pleasure to meet you as well. And I'm happy to be here on this platform. I'm excited.
It's wonderful to have you on here.
Hmm.
Let's just jump straight in there. You're a busy, busy artist, aren't you? Like,
I'm trying to
wow.
keep busy. I mean, I have a multifaceted lifestyle, I would say, yes.
Sure.
I was just thinking that before this interview.
Before we get started, you're from the DMV. Tell us a little bit about where you come from.
Well, I was born and raised in Southeast Washington, D.C. And then, I moved around the city. I lived in Northeast for a while, as a young adult. I went to college in Virginia. And then I also worked in Virginia and did some other stuff out in VA. Not like, real far out, but like Northern Virginia, Alexandria part, like Falls Church area. So, I really feel like, and I've spent like summers in Baltimore. Like I've really just been like all up in the DMV. I currently live in PG County. So when I say the DMV, like I really wholeheartedly mean it, and I know a lot of DC people give us slack when we say DMV. They be like, you're not really from DC because that's why you like DMV or whatever. It's not like that for everyone. Some of us just like to actually acknowledge the history of the whole area and really, embrace the entire culture. And that's what I do. I'm an all-inclusive type of gal. You feel
I've,
me? So
I've been looking at the lingo and checking out, like for example, you call people bammers and things like that. I think it's quite cool, actually. I do like the language changes, the subtle changes that you get in the States. Admittedly, you get them here as well, but it's always nice to check out the local lingo. So, when was your first time? What was your first move into music? Was it something at school, like you did production?
um, you know what? Now that I think about it, I guess it might have been in church first because, well, really in home. Like my first professional actual like being in a choir was in church because my grandma would always make me go to church with her. And, like I would sing wherever I was. So we had like choirs in every church, of course. And
Yeah.
she was a Seventh-day Adventist. So we would go to church on Saturdays and pretty much every day of the week after that. And most of the time, we had a choir, so we'd be working on songs and like even in like little Bible school camps, they had us singing little melodies and things. And I just really liked the way things sounded. And I love how they would, help us to kind of identify what our voice was and, whether you're an alto or a soprano. And, we were learning things about music, learning how to read music, just playing around with piano and things like that. So I guess I never really thought of that as my foundation for rap because it has nothing to really do with rap to me. But I guess now that I think about it and I've grown and I'm older and I've really gotten into my craft and expanded and done like more melodic songs and things like that, I think I really do probably need to start saying that is my start because I normally be like, I wrote my first rap in third grade, but it was actually way before then because I was in church before then and I was singing like, my little heart out. Like,
Oh.
I always felt like I just wanted to be on the mic or something. So yeah, I did that early. But third grade was my official first rap. And I did that because
Do you
somebody
remember?
pushed me down the steps.
Do you remember? Do you remember it?
Hell yeah.
Let's
You
have
want
it.
to hear it?
I
Ooh,
really
he could
do.
be mad.
Yeah,
Okay, then I gotta tell this precursor every time.
that's cool.
I
That's
wrote
cool.
this because the boy pushed me down the stairs. Okay.
Yeah.
So if it sounded a little mean, it's because it was supposed to be, because it was like a comeback instead of me trying to push him back and be like, the boys or something, which I knew I was probably gonna get my butt whipped. I just made a song and I taught it to the whole school. And every time they saw him, they were singing it. So,
No.
the people who can remember it, it was short and sweet. Here we go. It says, so I see Carl Stanton every day. Every time I see him, he don't look okay. Every time I see him, he's in a disguise with some messed up shirts and some dirty Levi's. But anyway, that was third grade now. So be
Excellent.
easy on me with the bars. But yeah,
Do you still
slight
see?
work in third grade.
Do you still see the dude?
He is following me on Instagram and Facebook. I kind of avoid him, honestly, but he's always like saying like he wants to link up and do business and stuff. And I'm just like, I don't know. Like I do have that in the back of my mind that he pushed
tonight, he's not.
Only thing that saved me was that big bubble coat I was wearing. If it wasn't for that, I probably would have broke some bones or something, man. Could have damaged my vocal cords. I wouldn't even be rapping. I wouldn't have been able to make the rap about you.
You could have
You lucky it wasn't detrimental. Yeah.
So when you first moved into studio work, how long did it take you before you put out your first album, Clap Back?
Ooh, before I put out my first album, it took a long time for me to actually put out my own, but I did like so many collaborations and I was doing work on other people's albums. So I was kind of like already in the studio, just not for myself. Like I had been to many studios before I did my own work. But when I did my own album, it wasn't even an album, it was a mixtape.
Relatively Free wasn't the first album.
Relative Frequency was my first album, but I did a mixtape before then. And I went into like a really nice studio, like you would think you would do an album in. Like I went to Q Recording to do a mixtape, you feel me? Right. So I'm in there and I'm like spending all this money to like put down stuff on these like, beats that I don't own. And, they're like free mixtape tracks and stuff. So I have it on my website if you ever want to listen. It's like a free mixtape. It's a bunch of songs on there. But yeah, Relative Frequency, that's my baby. That is my first real solid project. Shout out to Woo at Midnight Studio. He really helped me to sit down and shape that and like put it together, because that was my first time and my first experience, and I pretty much did everything on my own. So I was asking him all kind of questions. I was like, does this sound right? Do you think I should do this? Like Woo was just like, girl, you're gonna start paying me for these consultations.
You've got this like real cutie pie kind of sweet voice.
I know. He's so sweet too. He know he loved me, so and I would do anything for him for real. So it's like a mutual, what I'm saying. But yeah, definitely that first album, that was my baby. Like I said, like I was so just like passionate about trying to make sure every song meant something and it like reached somebody. Like I wanted it to be a message, and it was just like real hip hop for me. You know what I mean? Like that was my Miseducation of Lauryn Hill in my eyes.
Yeah, for sure.
So, like I wanted it to be classic, and I feel like I did accomplish that, because to this day, like people will hear tracks from there and they're like, this is my favorite track. But I'm like, man, that's like one of the first tracks I released. That's off my first album. I got 2 albums after that,
Clap Back and Finally Famous. And Finally Famous is just absolutely, you nailed it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that means so much, because my sister and my brother, that is like their favorite song. They love Family Famous. That's like, they're always like, please perform that. Can you do that at your next show? Are you performing Family Famous? And I'm like, no, it's long as fuck. It's like 6 minutes long.
So absolutely on point. So yeah,
no, so that's just like a little dilemma for me, because it's like I don't want people to lose interest. Like they have really short attention spans these days. So I performed like half of that song before. Like I'll pick like 1 verse or 2, but I've never done the whole track. I don't know. Maybe I'll do like a live virtual or something.
That's a good call, actually, to do half of it, a 3-minute segment of it, or even a couple of verses. Yeah,
right, exactly.
You're performing on the 20th, aren't you, of this month?
I am the 20th of February, actually.
At the Pure Lounge in DC.
Yes, look at you doing your homework. I love that. Yes, at Pure Lounge DC, February 20th. You can catch me live. I will be performing some very special, songs, some things that I normally don't perform, and I like to do something new every performance. So you'll never get the same performance out of me. It's just not possible. Okay. But because I'll get bored with it. I'm sorry. But I won't want to do it. I got to be excited to perform it. I got to feel like it's fresh. It's something I'm introducing to everyone. It's like I want to see what the reaction is almost, So I'm gonna do some special tracks, and it's like around Valentine's Day, President's Day weekend. So
Yeah.
I'm going with those two themes. Hint, hint.
Okay.
But you know what I'm saying? Y'all might could find out and think about what I might be doing, but not really, because I have so much new stuff you haven't even heard. Like, and I'm not even about to talk about that.
Can you send some of the footage to me, please?
Of course, I will definitely do that.
Yeah, I'd like to do that. That'd be cool. Your
And I
second
love
album,
the background, by the way.
Your second album, Supersede.
Yes.
How do you feel about that? What do you think you accomplished with that album? Was it like you have arrived? I feel settled as an artist.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it with the title, I kind of was saying, like, basically, I'm going to supersede, whatever I did in my last album. And I definitely was trying to just elevate and reach more people. That was my main goal with that one. It was like I was trying to not really go more mainstream with it, but just like be able to blend in a little bit more with what was already going on in the industry. Because I noticed people just really, what I'm saying, like they need that extra oomph, like they need the bop, they want something with some bop in it. So I was like, okay, let me give them some bops, like BAN, little stuff like that.
Once in a lifetime.
Yeah.
That as well.
You have real hip hop. You name it, all the real stuff. You love the real shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been listening ever since we've been talking. I've been like, right. I always know with the people I'm interviewing what tracks seem. You can feel what's important to the artist once you're in the groove, can't you? Really.
That's crazy, man. Not everybody can do that. Like that's a gift. So yeah, that's dope.
But please, by all means, as well, if you've ever got an album you're putting out and you need an album review.
Oh wow, that means so much. I will definitely remember that.
Yeah, I mean, I do tend to
have one coming out very soon. I think I'm gonna drop a reggae album because I haven't done one in a while. I did one a long time ago. It was like a collaboration one, but this will be like me on my own, and I'll just have some guest artists because I got some tracks already in the making, and then I got some that I'm just kind of sitting on. But yeah, I'm not gonna give y'all too much more, but we got some stuff in the works. Okay, just know that. Just know God been working on the girl.
420 friendly.
Yes, everything is 420 friendly. I got some real good 420 friendly news coming for y'all this 420, matter of fact. And it's not music. That's the only hint you're getting.
Okay. Before we talk about your other album, let's talk about your merchandise. You have an extensive range. I was absolutely taken aback. I mean, it's a shop.
Oh wow!
I mean, you can go there and buy whatever you need for the weekend and more.
Anything. You can pretty much go get swagged out. I'm gonna actually go ahead and show everybody how to do this, son. And I'm gonna go ahead. I got some visions when I made that stuff. I could see it and picture it on me, and that's how I shot with my eyes. So it's like I was thinking about me when I was putting that stuff together for real. So if y'all want the swag, go ahead and get the drip. It's on my website now.
And it works.
I'm telling you, I got sweatpants. I got all of that. All of that, son. All of that.
Fanny packs.
Yep, fanny packs, towels, shower curtains, rugs, whatever you need. Okay?
Pillows.
Pillows. I got the pillows. Throw blankets. I'm about to give me a throw blanket for my couch. Next time you see me on camera, I'm going to try to have my throw blanket behind me to match with the pillow. You know what I mean?
Your podcast. Let's talk about your podcast next. You're an avid blogger podcast, aren't you? You find like a kind of a release within that kind of thing.
I do. I love doing it. It's like, I don't know, when I'm talking to the camera, I feel like nobody's going to hear me. It's almost like I'm telling a secret, but I know later.
I felt like that.
Like in my mind, it feels okay. Like it really does. Like it feels like I'm just talking to my best friend for right now. But then like after I start actually see people comment and stuff, I'm like, oh my God, I really did like let people see that. Like they saw that. But yes.
Has it been a worthwhile venture, the podcast?
I think so. I think see, like I have the podcast and then I have the blog. The blog is like my daily, everyday life. It's like a day in the life of Lady Cee. You can really see like the ins and outs,
For
what
sure.
I'm doing, what I'm going through, what I've been through, all type of stuff on there. Okay. I even do like little cooking segments. But then on my podcast, I try to be a little more serious. Like as you can see with the episode I had Sunday, we talked about the crypto chain and the blockchain, all the currencies and different aspects of investing, and just we even touched on NFTs for a second, like if you watch all the way to the end. But I have those episodes, and those are just like things that I feel like are kind of taboo even to talk about. And some of them are just kind of like things that people might be scared to touch on. So that's what that's for me. So when I do a Dangerously Dope podcast, like that means, you know what I mean? You might want to check it out because it's not going to be something that I really put out there. Like episode 7, that was special. That was like financial building, wealth building. Like that's, for the public. But the other 6 episodes, they might be a little more censored and they're not really that, public friendly. So they're not on my website or my YouTube. Like you definitely have to go to the podcast to listen to those. Okay. But yeah, and I'm going to be putting even more serious and in-depth things on there because I just feel like that's my safe space. And if people want to really hear what's really, really going on, they will take the time to subscribe and actually be, a member of my podcast, because that's the only way you're going to hear all the juice. Okay. But yeah.
What do you think? What's your opinion at the moment then of like music that's considered? I know it's hip hop, but it's becoming more mainstream. Do you have an opinion on the direction that it's going in? The tight jeans, the scout jackets, and especially for the men, it's a little bit feminine, isn't it?
I think if you listen to my music, you will definitely hear my opinion on those things.
Yeah.
But just to go ahead and, sum it up, I don't prefer that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's cute. Sorry, guys, but it's just like, what is that? Like, you want to look like me? And then they be having a little guns and a little purse and shit. It's like, no, I'm just saying though, it's just like so femme. Like, you feel me? Like, I don't know. And then they be so homophobic. Them be the ones that be acting like they, all homophobic. Bitch, are you really? Because you motherfucking giving me vibes, baby, with the whole butt hanging out a little bit one show. What you trying to do though? I'm just saying, I want to know, okay? Because people need to know these things. If you're dating and you're acting like you with the women's and shit, like, nigga, why is you wearing this? Like, I don't know. Question things. I really do. Like, it's so suspect. And then they be all, like overly like, I don't know. I ain't got time. It's what my man Honcho said. He said they be making sensitive sliding songs, sad sliding songs. Hey, and he got a dope podcast too. It was on the Keep It Real DMV podcast. They were discussing this, and he was like, "Yeah, like basically the music just isn't the same. It's our era. We grew up differently." And even my comment on the post, I was saying that if you go on YouTube, you see all this. It's very public, so But like I said on there, I was saying that basically we grew up on morals like, never get high on your own supply, you know what I'm saying? Stay loyal, you know what I'm saying? Follow the code, have morals. It's not like that. It's no code, it's no ethics, it's definitely no fucking morals. You know what I mean? No Everybody tells on they man. Nobody's true to no code. Like, they don't have no code. They kill babies, they kill women, they do whatever. It's just no code. It's just like, I don't know. Like, I used to feel like, rap was like the new mob. It was like, how the mob had code. It was like they might not have been doing everything legally, but they had a good reason and they did it for good things. And they didn't try to just like be out here recklessly, like having, just violence. Just they ain't doing shit. Like, you're not making no money. You just like killing your own people. And it's just like, you just making this dumbass music to help them want to do it. Like, I don't know. I'm confused. I don't listen to that stuff, to be honest.
I get confused. I sit there shaking my head an awful lot while I'm watching it. I'm just a little bit like,
I could go on for days about that, but I would offend so many people. Probably already have. Sorry, guys. You know I love you, but it's just like if your music is really detrimental to our kids and shit, like if I gotta turn that shit off when my kids listening, it might not be the best thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like I'm not the type of mom that's gonna shelter them from hearing something real. Like I want them to understand what's going on in the real world, but I don't want them to hear no sickening shit. It's just like it's so, you know, uncouth. It's just like no finesse or diplomacy. Like we would code the things we say. It took me decades to figure out what Biggie was talking about in some of these songs. Like I didn't know he was even talking about rolling Phillies and all of that. Like I thought he was talking about the state when he was like, you know, the more I smoke, the smaller the Philly gets.
I got my education listening to music in the 80s and 90s.
Like it took me years to figure out what bars really meant because I was a real child. You know what I mean? Like I didn't fucking shit like that.
He's beefing with him because he said that about this person and that person, but it's a cool way. Nowadays, it's just upfront and personal and really like quite glorified. There's no,
and it's like sad because people are really losing their lives. Like it's these young, really talented, like helping the community and all type of shit, and they just getting murdered mindlessly. And it's like, what do you think is feeding this kind of mindset and this senseless shit to these kids to make them not care? They are desensitized. They have no feelings. You feel me? They are fucking crazy. They mentally sick. You cannot reason with a person like that. So what are you going to do?
I thought things
a better fucking example. Stop making them think that shit is cool because it's not. Stop making them think you think it's cool, because if that shit happened to you or your kids, you wouldn't think it was cool.
I thought things might have changed a little. I mean, I know I'm going back 3 years almost. When Nip was taken, it was a pointless murder of a dude that was doing good in the community, putting something back in. Yeah, he was still active. He was still
active. But that's the same thing with Young Dolph. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's a few good men out here, but they always get murdered, or you know, something tragic has to happen to these guys or these women. And it's like, why can't the positive people do positive things without getting targeted because of their, you know, status or something? Like it's always, I was just talking about this with my sister, which is so funny because this story right here says it all. I'm telling you, man. She was telling me about this young little baby girl that we all seen growing up. And now she's like a teenager. And she was telling me how basically if you saw her, she would cuss you out. You know what I mean? She's like, who are you? Like if I called her little name we used to call her, you know, like her little baby name, she would be like rolling her eyes and stuff. And we was laughing about it. But then I was just like, you know what's funny though? I was like, that's kind of fucked up because back in the day, we wouldn't do no shit like that. I was like, these young girls will end up fighting one of their elders, you know what I'm saying? Off of them just saying something like, hey, little mama, like, you know, I know you, or something like, you know, your mom and me used to, whatever. But it's like back then we was so respectful to our parents. We would act like we know this lady and everything. And be like, yes, ma'am, and all that, and not have no clue who the fuck she is. And then go home and ask our mom, like, hey, mom, such and such, Miss such and such told me this and that. She said she knows you. She was like, I look just like you, blah, blah, whatever. You know what I mean? She's like, oh, yeah, that's such and such. Oh, that's Miss whoever, you know? And then we'd be like, oh, okay. But it wasn't like this shit, like you end up fighting the old lady, dragging her, end up on the news or something. And I'm just like, come on, man, we got to really like do better. Like, is it the 5G towers? What's going on for real? Something in these damn vaccines. Yeah. Let me stop before I get you.
Have you, don't mind me asking, have you, obviously we've all been involved in the street life and a bit of a hustle. Have you managed to step away from all of that now? You've focusing more, like you're focusing fully on your music, or you're still involved in the streets a little bit?
I've never been involved in the streets. I mean, look at me. It's like, no, seriously, like, do I look like I have to do something like that?
No, you don't.
Exactly. I can get a job like this. Like I always had a job. Like I've been working since I was, I don't know, 15 years old even. Like I stayed hustling. Like I've been a hustler. You know what I mean? Like I had bus trips going to New Jersey when I was like 14. Like my dad had to sign the joint for me because I wasn't even old enough. Like I was just talking about this before I did my interview with my friend the other day about the cryptocurrency, because he was telling me a story about how back in the day when we were in high school, I paid him like $5 to write a paper for me, like in English class, and he wrote it about Biggie because he wanted the teacher to believe that, you know, I wrote it, and she did, you know what I mean? Like she even gave me less points for talking about Biggie so much. But because she knew I was obsessed, but she was just like, yep, she did this, like, you know, it was no question. But you know, he basically reminded me that why I was doing that. I was like, oh my God, I did do that. I was like, yo, because I'm like, why the fuck would I pay somebody to write a paper? Like, I'm an awesome writer. English was my favorite subject. I was straight A's in every class I took anywhere. But I remember I was throwing cabarets and I thought school was beneath me, honey. I was like, this shit is fucking up my money. I was like, I can't even sell tickets. I got to do this and that. I got to get the caterer. Like, I remember being pissed off that I had to be in class and shit. I'm like, I don't want to be in class. Like, this is for, you know, people that don't know what they want to do with their life. And like, I was mad. I was real life mad. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do what I got to do because my dad said if I don't get my grades, I can't do this either. So, you know, I'm paying people to do papers. Like, I'm actually paying all my friends, like anybody who's willing to do it. Like, I was just like, Grace, like, can you help me? I'll pay you. What do you want? You know what I mean? Like the dudes were giving me discounts. My girlfriends, they were the ones like charging me $30 and shit. I remember Grace charging me like $30, yo. I was like, yo, her shit was like the most expensive paper. But it was okay. It was okay. Hers was probably the best too.
What was your paper?
I gotta ask around about this shit. I did some wild things that I don't remember that people be reminding me of and shit. But it'd be like tripping you out. So I don't know. Sorry, I'm all off topic.
No, it's cool. I just this is what an interview should be. It's cool. Going back to your latest release, Miss Mary Jane, Chapter 420. Wow, what an album!
And there's the album cover right on my pillow.
Bang, there. What an album!
Yeah.
How are your sales going? Your sales doing well? You're streaming.
How many what now?
Is your streaming doing well for your album?
I don't be looking at that, but I probably need to start analyzing my analytics and stuff. But I only look if they send me an email and tell me like something like, oh, you did this amount today, or you know, you reached so many people, or your song reached a new or something. But other than that, I don't monitor it. I have so much stuff to do. Like I'm the only person, you know? Like it's like me. So like I have to check all my emails for like all 3 of my businesses, and now I'm trying to start adding new stuff to it. Plus I do taxes, which I gotta start doing tomorrow. And then, you know, I be doing like the podcast and trying to keep up with my vlogs, and I do all the edits for my vlogs, and yeah, it's a lot.
How'd you find the time?
I don't know, because I be up all night sometime, like just writing.
Me too. I'm
like,
awake.
if I just hear a beat, like that's why I'm like, why the fuck they send me this beat? Sometimes I get mad when people send me beats, but it's like I love it, but it's like I hate it. It's like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I'm so fucking torn. Like I want to sleep. Why did you send me this shit? Like no beats at night, y'all. I'm trying to tell you, don't do that shit, please, because I don't have the strength to not do it, you know? Yes.
Gas no break.
And I also have children. So like on top of all that, I gotta wake up in the morning and take my daughter to school, put my son on the bus. They go to different schools at that, like, and that's been happening for like 6 years. So, you know, like it's a lot going on there. So
yeah, I'm the same. I've got two boys myself that I'm on my own.
You can relate, see? And it's like you gotta wear all those hats, like that cool hat you have on.
The mother, we don't see the mother ever.
Exactly.
We haven't seen her in 2 years, so
really,
I feel you. 2 years.
Oh my God.
So I feel you.
Hey, shout out to you for being a stand-up dad, because that shit is awesome, and dads don't really get enough credit. Like seriously, like I love seeing an awesome dad, and I just like to give him some little love and praise. Like, oh my God, you're so awesome! Look at you! Look at that smile!
Awesome, you know.
Yeah, you're dope though. That is so dope. Like your kids, they're so lucky to even have somebody that's really like down for the count. You feel what I'm saying? Because parenthood is a hard job and you don't get any benefits. Like you get benefits, you just don't get paid. The benefits is the kids and the little joy that, you know, you get from seeing them like basically be happy and have, you know, somebody to love them. Like and always be there and to believe in them. Oh my goodness, that's like a constant theme that keeps coming into my mind too. Like the importance of having people that believe in you. Like it just stands out for some reason. Like it's been like pounding my brain or something. Like you need people around you that believe in you. Like I just keep hearing it everywhere, you know, but when I hear it, it's like it be hitting me. Like certain people are saying it, you know, but they're not even trying to tell me. They're like just saying it in passing or telling me about something. And then I'm like, oh my God, like I heard that here too. And then I heard it over here. And I remember how I felt every time I heard it. It's just like it was meant for me to really make it resonate. So yeah, it's important for people to really like have people around them that believe in them, and especially children. Like just knowing that you believe in them, that does a lot. Like I think people underestimate the power of believing in somebody.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
just all they need. Like, you know, believing in somebody is, I think that's like a best form of loving someone that you can really do is having that belief in them. It's like, what else? It's like, don't doubt me. Don't doubt that I can do things, you know, like just knowing that I'm capable and able, that goes a long way.
Yeah. I think nowadays as well, with social media, with what we're doing now, there's a lot more on offer, not just for the younger generation, for ourselves as well, to be able to step out and say, actually, I'm gonna do this. I'm not just gonna, you've not got your eggs in one basket, you've diversified, but it's all under the same umbrella where you can include it as a hip hop family business almost.
Yeah.
Is it
And I
something
have
that,
plans for that. So yeah, definitely. I can't wait to show you guys what I'm planning. Like I just have to just keep this under wraps because
oh.
people really love to copy my shit. Like I be like, I just be telling people like off the break because we be working together at the time or something. And then, you know, we won't end up working together because I guess they just wanted to take my fucking ideas or some shit. So. But then here they come with the same idea that I told them about and no credit for me. Like I always make sure I tell people where something came from, even a story. Like you see what I'm saying? It's like, oh, I got this story from this person or something. It's just like, why? Why? What is the point? I guess they don't want other people to know how valuable you've been to them or some shit. Like
There you
whatever. But
go.
I don't do that to you,
There you
motherfucker.
go. About being how valuable they are, and they take that value and take it away for nothing.
But it's okay because they can never, you know, duplicate what I really be having in mind for real anyway. So it's always a little miss. It's just funny to see though, because it's like, it's so silly. Why are you like that?
With your music, do you micromanage? Are you hands on from process to process?
Hell yeah. It's me. I do all that shit. The engineers hate me, but they love me. It's a love-hate relationship. Because they be like, you can tell they want to tell me to just get over there and do that shit myself. Because I be so like, I'm like, oh, can you do this? All right, can you? Oh, right there. Oh, I hear. You know what I'm saying? like, shut the fuck up. Like, Honcho probably cringing right now thinking about that shit. I was like, oh my God, right here at the 1 minute and 10 second point, do you hear like right there where the T go out? It just get like a little bit low. You don't hear that? He was like, I'm gonna fix it. But they always so perfectionist too, you know. So like it's like they know they happy I caught this shit because it's like, you know, what? Anyway,
Hey, it's on your time.
yeah, but I really be on that shit though. I don't know. That's probably why I don't really have anybody helping too, because I don't know. I like to be so hands-on. I gotta start finding other people that have my same kind of thinking though. And I have. So like I said, like Honcho is one of them. Like he has a really good eye and ear for that shit. So I can kind of like leave my track with him and he'll go ahead and do what, you know what I'm saying? I want him to do with it still. You know what I mean? Like, but certain people, they have their own kind of style. So it's like if you don't really like that style or whatever, or they don't understand your style, more
Yeah,
importantly, because they can have their own style, but still know how to cater to your style. You feel what I'm saying?
for sure. If you was
Yeah, I
to
work
pick out of your discography, out of your back catalog, if you was to pick out your actual favorite track for yourself that means the most to you, what would you choose?
Oh, it would probably be it's it would probably be very hard.
There's a lot.
I mean, I got like 86 tracks. I would say it's a tie. I don't know really because I love Once in a Lifetime was really that was special when I was writing that. I was felt like I was really revealing a lot of
Yeah.
myself. And then I just love Bare Necessities. That's like one of my favorite songs, like just for me.
Yeah.
Like if I didn't know me, I would like that song. I really would. But because I made it for the tokers. I made
You
it for
made it
people
for
that
what?
love me like me.
You made it for?
The stoners, the
Ah,
tokers, the
there you
people
go.
who love, what I love, because that's what it's about. It's like bare necessities, that's all that I'll ever need. And it really is. It's like I light my J and smoke my tree and I'm all right.
If you was to go to a concert to actually pay and listen to somebody, who would you choose to go and watch? Why?
I've been to concerts. Oh my gosh. Some of my favorite people to go to concerts to
Yeah.
watch are Anita Baker. I just love
Oh, I
singing
actually saw
along.
Nita Baker a couple of years ago.
Oh my God, me too.
Yeah,
When?
she was
Where were you?
amazing. She was
Where did you
actually
see her?
in London.
Yo, I wish I could have saw that. Like try to watch like wherever she is,
That's a
but I
Christmas
just think
present a few years ago.
that was dope.
Yeah.
You love Anita or something?
Yeah, I don't mind. I like live music, so I'll go and watch anything me. But it was just a Christmas
Right.
present. So it was.
I'm an Anita Baker fan, hunty. Okay? I love that lady. I really do. Like, I don't know. I would even say I get some of my style from her. Like, people don't know, like, but I don't know. It's something about her sultry voice and it's just, I can feel the jazz within her music. And I don't know. I just
Hit
love
them.
Anita
She
Baker.
can hit
I
them
love
notes
everything
as well,
about her.
can't she?
I love everything about her. I do.
Yeah, she's
But
fantastic.
yeah, it would be Anita Baker. And then I will also, I don't know, I love going to see Jay for some reason. Like I used to go see Jay-Z whenever I could.
Oh,
Like
I would
me and
love
my
to.
friend, we were like fanatic.
I don't think anybody to touch him.
It was not a game. We were in the front, we were standing on our chairs. We were singing every word.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yeah.
And then it got to the point where I seen so many Jay-Z concerts, I knew exactly how the concert would go. Like I was in there telling people, oh, he about to do this. All right, he about to sing this next. You know what I mean? Like I literally knew the order. I knew when he was gonna stop the song. We knew all of that shit. Like it was terrible. It was fucking terrible. But yeah, like I used to be like, Jay-Z's my dad. Like basically, he's like my hip hop father. Like he told me everything I know. Like, what do you mean? It's like, no.
I don't think
No, but he kind of sort of is though, because I used to study those albums and it's just like, I would listen so attentively. Like I just admired everything about The Streets Is Watching. And if you watch that DVD, oh my God, see, this about to make me sad.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
because my favorite fan, he passed away in August.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. My condolences.
Yeah, I know. He was so sweet and like he was everything. Like he was the dopest fan you could ever have. You hear me? Like he had like everything I ever made. Like all that shit you saw on my merch page, like he had at least one of all of that shit. All of that shit. Seriously.
Imagine rocking it all in one go.
Imagine how his damn room looked when his family came in to see what the fuck was in there. Shit. That's what I always think about. Like, oh my God. Like, they probably like, what the fuck is all this shit? Trying to support my blacks. Got all kind of shit. Towels, fucking computer covers, mouse pads, posters everywhere, signed pictures, signed pillows, signed calendars, everything you can think of. You hear me?
I think that's what I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get a poster. I'm gonna get a poster. I want to make sure bits and pieces on my back wall when I get rid of the green screen and actually have a studio wall with stuff that actually means something on it.
This right here is a 2022 calendar, actually. So I think that's still on the website, and I'm going to update all of my calendars for 2022 to 2023. But y'all know my year starts on 4/20, so I don't start my calendars in January. They start in April, okay?
Yeah.
So you'll be in luck if you get a Lady Cee calendar, because you don't got to hurry up and get you a calendar to be in a year. Oh my God, I'm using an old calendar. Nope. You got a couple of months to let it sink in like you should. Perfect.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Do you actually plan? Would you take up an opportunity to go on tour?
Yeah, none of my kids are older. At first, I was like just hoping nobody would ask. But I was doing like little stuff. Like I planned to go to Jamaica and like do their little summer fest. So like something I can do like during the off season hours. Like I would do like tours like that. But now I am like saying pretty much open to going ahead doing the damn thing. But with COVID and all, the restrictions and stuff, might be a little bit different. So I don't know how that's going to be because I haven't traveled since the pandemic. Like I ain't been nowhere except for by car. And yeah, I don't know how it is. I've seen like, videos of people on their plane and stuff. And I don't know really what the whole process is like now. So I don't know. I would just probably feel like it's my first time flying again and just like don't know
I
what
feel
to
like that for
expect.
me. It must have be the same for me.
Yeah, like do I have to quarantine when I get there? Like what's gonna happen to me? Like I don't fucking know. But yeah, I'm open to it, but I guess I'll start local or something until we see what's going on. Man, fuck local. I'm going anyways.
Anyway.
I mean, seriously, like for real. I'm not scared. I've never been a scary person. I feel like I'm just, destined to do whatever I'm destined to do. Like God is out here writing these destinies and they's out here being lived out. So ain't nothing I can really do except with my best. I'll do shit to shorten my lifespan. You feel me?
It is what
I'm
it
just
is.
doing the best. Okay.
I think I live my life by your path is pre-chosen, but free will exists.
Exactly.
And then you make good doing it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So have you got any plans for any video works? Like for example, I mean, you must be shooting a video for Gas No Breaks. What a track. I feel like you've
read
grown.
my mind. Are you in my head? How did you know that? That is like the first video I'm going to do next.
Really?
Oh my goodness. Unless I do Bonnie and Clyde, but that's a collab with me and Honcho. So, because we got to do that joint. That's one of my favorite. And I think we need to do one for the Where You Want to Go track too, because I really love that track. Matter of fact, if that was my whole song, I would have chose that for one of my favorite tracks. Where You Want to Go is like my baby. Like I love that song. I really do. Like the lyrics, like what I'm saying, it just makes me happy. Like when I listen to Where You Want to Go, I get happy. Like I'd be like, I picture myself gone where the fuck I'm supposed to be.
I do smile when I'm listening to your music. I must admit, I do smile. I do find the beats are right, the vocal pitch is right, your delivery is spot on, and it is quite
That
nice,
is
happy.
so beautiful.
Content with it as well is cool as fuck. Like
That's
Savage,
dope, man. Great.
track on your new album, Savage. That is just an absolute killer. That's a monster. That should be like a club banger. It really is.
That's actually one of my favorites too. See, I don't know. Like that's one of my favorite tracks to perform. I love performing Savage.
Yeah.
It's something about it. It just like gets me going. Like
yeah, for sure. Yeah, the beat, the lyrics, everything about it is absolutely is a club banger. I love it. You've done ever so well in your production. Okay, before we wrap it up, is there anybody you want to give shouts out to?
Of course, I don't get shout out my daughter because her birthday is January the 31st and she'll be turning 13. So she's having like,
Same as my boy, 13. So I'll get you. I feel you on that one.
Really? Oh my goodness, that is so crazy. Well, yeah, and shout out to my son too. He's a little genius, but he likes to be kept on the low. So I'm gonna just respect his privacy. He's so secretive. But yeah, otherwise, shout out to my whole family. Shout out to my cousin Nicole because she hooked up my daughter's hair the other day for her birthday. And y'all need to go follow her. And matter of fact, I'm going to post that next episode where I displayed everything and I put her ad in there. Nicole Kenny, boom, on Instagram. Shout out to Susie Glam. She does hair too. She also makes an awesome hair serum that helps your hair to grow. And it's really healthy. It has like all these herbs and stuff in it. But shout out to her too. Cool. Shout out to the whole Fair Hill Studios. That is my family for life. And they already know, what it is. It's all love. Everybody at Fair Hill Studios, of course, NLB Honcho. I was talking about him all through the interview. You know what I mean? My man Filthy Rich, who made the beat for my Hold On Tight track and for Copper Elements. If you heard those two, that's who did that. And then we, of course, have Yahawa, the admin of the building that holds it down and makes sure everything goes round and round. And then we got Ben Dirty, the CEO, or as he like to say, the motherfucking CEO.
Respect.
I can't with them. But yeah, shout out to all my producers that do beats for me. Shout out to Zen, the producer. He's done some of my favorite tracks, of course, like BAN and Lady Tango and Boys in the Hood. I'm sorry, Girls in the Hood. I'm talking about Boys in the Hood. I think I'm in a movie. But yeah, Girls in the Hood. And also shout out to, I guess, Pure Lounge, because I'll be there on the 20th of February. And shout out to anybody who's bought a ticket, because I love y'all. Okay. And rest in peace to William. I always will love him. And I know if he was here, he would be definitely watching. Definitely shout out to AJ Throwback, because he just shouted me out on his podcast earlier. And I got to give y'all a reclip of that later in my next vlog. But I thought that was so beautiful. And I definitely appreciate all the love, man. Like, it's real out here in the DMV. They say we hate each other. We don't hate each other. Y'all just was fucking with the wrong people. Okay? Straight like that. Shout out to everybody on my team. Shout out to everybody that holds me down, man, for real, like on the background that nobody knows about. Shout out to my mommy. Shout out to my dad, for sure, because he hold me down all the time and give me words of encouragement and keep me strong and keep me focused and keep me away from fuck shit and tell me when it look like I'm slipping a little bit, so that I could get back on my little shit. But yeah, you know, shout out to him, and shout out to all my homegirls. Shout out to Blizzy Blue, you know what I'm saying, with it Zoo. She always holding me down in the cut like it ain't nothing, like what. And then just shout out to the whole DMV. Like, I love my city. I love DC. I love Maryland. I love PG County, Moe County. You know what I'm saying? Even out to Frederick County. Matter of fact, I used to live in Frederick for a year. I told you I used to live all around this motherfucker. I drove up Hadestown, every type of shit. Listen, man, I'd have been around here, okay? I used to go to Bowie State for a second even. I went there for like one semester. I was on the dean's list and everything. I just couldn't pay for that motherfucking... End up dropping out, going to massage school. That's another story. That's another interview, okay?
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to everybody. I got too many shout outs. If I missed you, charge it to my head, not my heart. I love you.
I would definitely having you back on the show for sure.
Oh, shout out to Hollow No Face. That's my homie right
Hollow
there.
No
He got
Face.
new music out. Definitely shout out to him, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even know you, okay? Because he actually put me on. It was like, yo, check out the homie, and I did, and now we sitting here wrapping it up. So big love to him. He just had a birthday that passed. Shout out to the brother. He's a real brother. He's really out here doing work in the community, trying to be, you know what I'm saying, a productive young man and really do something and set a positive example. So I can respect that. I appreciate that. And I definitely just appreciate everybody that holds me down, shows me love, like my nigga Big Seven and Trey Say Sev. Bitch, stop playing with me. Ah, look, hold on. Look at that. See, look at that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't play around. I don't play around. I don't play around. Stop playing with me. That's what I do.
Respect. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure. Lovely talking to you.
Absolutely.
Peace. I'm out.